Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Zebbo's Kitchen. Today I am making homemade apple fritters. So without further ado, let's get to cooking. Alright, so our ingredients here is a cup of flour, 2 tablespoons of a cinnamon sugar mixture, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of salt, and then about 1 and I believe 1/3 cup, 1 1/3 teaspoon of baking powder. So that is our ingredients. We also are going to use 2 apples, egg. We have 1/3 cup of milk and then a cup of oil for frying. So right now I'm going to wash the apples and get those peeled and diced up. So I am using Granny Smith apples. Granny Smith apples are also the apples that you use for making apple pie. It just has that nice tartness, but it's not too tart, but also not too sweet. They're good for baking. So we're going to use these for our apple fritters. You could use whatever apple you'd like. I just go basic and use the Granny Smith, but go ahead and do what you like. It might taste different depending on the different apples. So with this, I'm going to chop up these apples into pretty much diced. Make sure you get a, yeah, we'll go ahead and just dump that in here for right now. If you want to, here's a tip, or just an extra. If you don't want to throw away the skin of the apple, go ahead and toss these in cinnamon and even sugar, and then bake these and make like little apple chips. You could do that. Let me grab a knife real fast. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to just put everything in, the apples in this bowl. So I'm going to go ahead, chop off that. And then what I'm doing, you could use an apple core if you want. I don't have one. But I'm going to cut as close to the core as I can. That way, we can use pretty much almost the entire apple besides the core. If you use a core, to get the core out, you probably get a little more of the apple, but that's fine. So then what we're going to do is we're just going to, almost like we're cutting an onion, just going to dice this up. Now, completely up to you. You can have big chunks, you can have small chunks, because you're going to you want to have the apples in there. You want to taste those apples. So, depending on how big you cut them, you'll either taste the apples or you get that hint of apple where, if you eat it, you kind of get more of the cinnamon and sugar. But I like mine where you could taste the apples. I love cinnamon apples, so I love this recipe. But it's really up to you. I try to make them to where they're a decent size, and that way you get that nice bite of the apple and cinnamon, because who doesn't love cinnamon apples? Let's go ahead and chop. I'm debating because I don't know. It should be enough. Should be enough. If it's not, you can always add another apple. But this should be good. This is what I have. You can see they're decently diced up into cubes. So this is what we're going to work with. Now we're going to add our wet ingredients and dry ingredients, and we're going to get everything together. Also, this recipe does require 1 egg, if I didn't say that already. Okay, so now we're going to add our flour, sugar, our salt, and our baking powder. And I'm just going to go ahead and give it a nice, let me grab a whisk and we'll whisk this up. Okay, go ahead and whisk this up, get it all combined. All right, That's good. Now I'm going to toss our cinnamon sugar into our apples, and we're going to toss this up as well. Now, if you're like me and you love a lot of cinnamon, go ahead and add more cinnamon if you'd like, which I probably will. I always feel that these don't have enough cinnamon to them. All right, that looks really good. So what I'm going to do now is here is our milk, our 1/3 cup of milk. And then I'm going to crack an egg, just like that, into a little thing. Then I'm just going to put it in there, and then we're going to whisk this up. Okay? All right, now I'm going to take our wet ingredients and combine them into our dry ingredients, and it's going to make a batter for us that we're going to be able to fry. So we're going to go ahead, mix that up. Just like that. If you need to loosen the batter, go ahead and add more milk. Let me grab a spoon. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just like that. Ooh, I feel like this batter is a little loose. Okay. And then we're gonna add in our apples, just like that. We're gonna go ahead and mix this up. Okay. Okay, just like that. And now we're gonna get some oil on the pan and we're gonna fry these. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and drop these in. I'm just taking a spoonful and we're just gonna drop it in like that. See, oil is not quite ready, but that's okay. So we're gonna let this fry. This is our test one. So obviously the oil is not quite ready, but you know what? That's okay because it's still gonna turn out and it's still gonna be delicious. Okay, so you could see it forming up, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop another one in, just like that. And this recipe is so easy and so simple that you could just, you can make several batches of these. And you can make them how big or how small you want it. So I just want to show you what it's going to look like. You can see how it's golden brown. Go ahead and see, look at that. Does that not look delicious? Looks like a patty, yes, but oh, trust me, it is going to be so good. You want to let them get golden brown on each side and just let those apples soften and oh, so delicious. All right, so as you can see, these are nice golden brown. These are still cooking up on the, they're gonna give those a few more minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and drop some more in. But these smell so delicious. Oh my gosh. Almost smells like funnel cake. I'm gonna go ahead and get those off. Gonna let those drain on a paper towel. And our last one. There we go. Might be able to get like a small one. Hold on. Small one with one apple. There we go. All right. And now we're just gonna let this cook. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add we're going to make our glaze. So they're resting, they're cooling off a little bit, kind of draining that oil. I'm going to add about a half a cup of powdered sugar to a bowl. Half a cup to a cup, I would say. And then we just want just a few splashes of milk. We want to create a glaze for this. We don't want it to be like frosting. We want to create like a nice glaze for our apple fritters. We're going to go ahead and just mix this around. If you want it a little thicker, add in more powdered sugar. But I'm just gonna mix it, make sure it's all incorporated, because you can see like the little lumps too. So go ahead, just like that. As you can see, it's getting more and more silky. It's not lumpy. So this is looking great. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to grab a plate and I'm gonna try one. Okay, so I'm gonna try one. Before I do like glaze it, I just wanted to show you. Look how good that looks. Look how done that looks. Does that not look amazing? So now I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna just drizzle this, at least one, with the glaze, because I want to compare the difference, because these aren't really that sweet either. So I'm going to try the one without the glaze first, and then the glaze. Now, if you want to make a thicker glaze, by all means, go ahead. You can use cream cheese, but this is just an easy, simple glaze for the apple fritters. So let's get to taste testing. All right, so let's try these. So this, like I said, this is the first one without the glaze. Let's just bite into it. Oh my God. So cinnamony. It's not sweet. It's actually really good. Look at that. Look how done that is. Oh, so good. The apples, they're nice and soft. They don't have like a bite to them. They're not like raw, which just adds another layer of texture to this. So good. It just melts in your mouth. All right, so now the glaze you really can't see. Probably have to make more, but that's fine. But let's try the glaze one. It's done. Cooked all the way through. What I would say is, for me, needs more apples. I like the apples and apple fritters. The cinnamon is nice, and I just feel like it could use maybe like one more apple. I think that would have really not balanced it out. But that does it for this episode of Zudlo's Kitchen. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Remember to be the best you can be, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.